I have another one for you guys today. We are going to make this windmill. And what I did was I took a little windmill piece from one of those welcome signs from Dollar Tree, the little windmill with the welcome hanging underneath it. And then I'm just showing you I'm using some skewer sticks that were already cut like that for the pack. I'm using the black Arteza paint in that little paint tray from Dollar Tree. Those little trays are really good for little projects like this because it limits how much paint you're putting in there, so you're not like dumping a whole bunch. But anyways, there I am showing you. I'm painting the skewers. I'm painting my little windmill. Once they're all painted, we're going to just put them to the side, but we're going to finish painting it. Let's get it all, we're going to paint it all black. Everything's going to be black, per my husband's request. Who might I add? I don't know if I said it in my first video, but my husband edits all my videos. But there we are with our little crate from Dollar Tree, and we're going to paint that black. And I know that Dollar Tree, their crates and stuff are fairly small, but this project actually turns out nice. It's very good for like a little shelf. Mine is it's in my dining room on one of my little shelves that I put up there. We're just going to paint it all black. And this is the beauty of technology, because painting something like that could take like 15 minutes, where in a video you could speed it up like this. It's great. But there we are, painting it all up. It's all black. And for the sake of the video, I didn't paint the bottom, but you know, later I go back and I paint the bottom black just because I like a finished product. But that's up to you. You don't have to. I mean, I'm not selling this. It's going to sit on my shelf. We're going to enjoy it. And there I am painting the inside, because you want to paint a little bit down there. You really didn't have to. I really could have passed this, but skipped that whole part of painting inside, which I'm going to show you there. I'm painting inside. You don't really have to do that. I just did for some reason. I guess I thought that maybe it would have been, you could have seen it. But it turns out pretty good. You don't really actually see that at the end. But anyways, I'm doing it. So there we go. I'm painting the little cracks and all the, you know, underneath parts. There I am wiping my hands because, you know, I really don't like things on my hands for some reason. I'm taking this floral foam also from Dollar Tree. We're going to cut it down. Well, that one piece not. These are actually the little squares, which I like those. But there we are. I'm going to measure it, and my husband laughed and said, that little crack inside drives me nuts, because you'll see that the floral foam don't touch. Yeah, I don't know why that drove him nuts, but I'm showing you there. I took one of those little beads and I cut it in half. I'm not really sure how big those beads are now because I've had them for a while. If you've seen my last video with my bunny tray, those were the same beads. I've just had them forever. But I just painted them. There I am struggling to keep the paint off my hands because, like I said, I do a lot of painting, so I don't know why that bothers me. And I have kids. But, you know, there I am taking my skewers and trying to fit them all in there how I want them in. Because, you know, you want them slanted because it's a windmill, right? So there we are. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stick them in there. And then you'll see me struggle with some hot glue. Oh, hot glue. But that red glue gun right there is amazing. My husband bought me this red glue gun, and I didn't realize just how hot this thing got until it melted the skin off my hand like butter. It was awful. It was a disaster. But anyways, there I am trying to keep them together, and I'm like, okay, this is going to work because this glue gun is just amazing. It doesn't work. So you'll see here in a second, I'm going to grab this floral wire and we're just going to wrap it around. It's starting to get on my nerves now. And there I am, floral wire. I don't know if you could see it really well, but that's just the Walmart floral wire. Y'all tell me in the comment section, is that from Walmart or is that from Dollar Tree? I don't remember. I guess I should pay attention to my brands, huh? Because Walmart sells a certain brand and Dollar Tree sells a certain brand, but Dollar Tree has changed a lot. So I'm not sure if their brand stayed the same or what. But anyways, there I am just wrapping it around, and you're going to see me fiddle with it and twist it around and tuck it under and twist it again. And do all this weird stuff trying to make sure it stays on. There I am. Damn, take it under. Because, you know, that's going to make a difference. It doesn't, but, you know, it held. So there I am, twisting around, doing it again. I guess I thought that it was just going to help, which it didn't matter because, it, like I said, it stayed on. Now I got my floral wire on there, and now I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to put it on the top. Why? I don't know, but here I am anyways. And now it's on there. And I'm going to make sure I put some glue in those little leg pieces so that my legs don't pop out. You see how much glue I used? I put a lot of glue on that. But you know that glue will melt that foam. You see it, I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but I can see it where it's like steaming. That is actually an industrial glue gun made for flooring. But yeah, you saw I burned myself already. Now I'm going to take this. I'm still picking the glue strings off. I'm in Georgia. I'm not sure what it's like where you guys are at, but the pollen here is killing me right now. But here I am. I'm trying to figure out how I want to cut. And you're going to see I do play with this quite a bit, but I mean, it works. I got this little tool right there. Those are really nice. I actually ordered mine off Amazon, and it comes with so many blades. I think mine came with like 6 different blades. So if that one gets dull or whatever, I could just change it out. My husband left this part in there, I guess, just to show where I was going with it, but I'm not sure. Because like I said, he edits all my videos. And there I am. I'm still playing with it. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm kind of tired. It's late. I have 3 little kids here, so, you know, if you're a mom, you know what it's like. If you're a dad, you know what it's like. You get tired. So there I am, just cutting it. I don't know what's taking me so long and why I'm messing around with it so much. But there I am, still trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm not sure what I'm doing at this point. I don't know if I was having brain freeze or what, but I'm just trying to, at this point, I'm like, okay, I just need to get these on. So you'll see me take it from behind, because I was trying to get it to where I could lodge it in between and glue it in that way. But, you know, it wasn't exactly working out that way because they're round. I guess I'm going to cut it again. I'm not sure why. You have to excuse me today. This pollen is really getting to me. The weather is just, it's beautiful, but the pollen is terrible here. And there I am still, I guess, thinking I'm going to shove them in there. I'm like, nope, there we go. So I'm going to glue them on in the back. Glue them on the inside. And it worked out just fine that way. And then I'm just going to show you how I'm going to kind of do like a Z pattern-ish going down. And that's kind of like what we're going to do. And it turns out really cute. It turns out nice. It was my husband's favorite, so it works out. And my husband he contributes to the delinquency of my hoarding when it comes to crafts. He's an enabler. So, but you know, I'm not complaining. Because, you know, if I need something or want something, he's really good about it. So there I am. And I'm like, okay, I need to do the same thing on the other side, but going in the opposite direction. So I'm like, oh man, I put it in the same angle. But what you want to do is you want to do in the opposite direction on the back, so it kind of looks like like crosses, and when you're looking at it straight forward. So there I am, picking off my glue, and I'm like, man, so I gotta pick it all off again, start over. Here we go. Okay, hold it in place. And I'm like, oh, I'll just hold it there and glue it. And there it is. I did it again. I don't know why that did it again. But regardless, it worked. hot glue is a mess. I needed one of those precise tips where you can put just a little bit of, glue on at a time, but I don't have one yet. I have like a bunch of glue guns, but none of them are like that. So, we use what we have, right? And there I am, still fooling with this one bar. And, well, I say bar, but it's a stick. It's a round stick. But there it is, it's on. I'm like, okay, good. Now we're rolling. And this was probably the one project that I did that didn't give me as many issues. So there I am. Get them on. See, it's kind of an X, but there it goes. Look, it's falling. Boom. I'm like, goodness. So there I am. I'm going to add more to the top because I realized, the top is kind of blank. So I need to kind of fill in as much as I can, just to make it look more full. And I promise you, as much glue is on there, you're not going to see it. My husband was actually, once it was painted and done, he was like, wow, I can't believe you disguised all that glue, but you'll see. Because the windmill is supposed to be like metal or iron, So what happens when you paint over glue? It looks like the welding of the object. So he was like, wow, that looks really good. But you'll see when it's done. I'll probably talk about my husband a lot. He's one of my biggest supporters, which is good. It's really good. I hope that everybody who does stuff like this, or, everybody has somebody that supports them in what they do. It's very important to have that dynamic. But here I am, getting more on there, trying to get all my glue webs off. And now I'm doing the back. So we're going to get those on there. And I'm like, ugh, as you can see, I'm just like, this is just a mess. There it is. It falls again. I mean, I don't know how many. There it goes again. It falls, like 3 times? So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to hold it and glue it. I'm going to gunk that glue on there, right? And then here I am now trying to get, I think this is the last piece I put on, I believe. I'm not sure, actually. But we'll see. Yeah, I think this is the last piece I put on. And there it is. All in its glory, right? So I'm like, okay. I have to adjust my clothes, just, get all this off of me. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like. There we go. I'm going to get my little paintbrush again and my black paint from Arteza, which I love Arteza. I'm a huge fan of Arteza paint. I actually do some painting, and Arteza is my go-to, honestly. I'm not a professional painter. Professional painters don't usually recommend because, you need a more, I don't know, I guess a better quality of paint, but I always found that Arteza was really good. It worked really good for me. It's not let me down so far. And no, they're not paying me to say that. I genuinely like Arteza paint. So here we are. I'm just painting it up. And it covers so nicely. See how nicely that covers? That's just one coat. So, I mean, one coat. Look at how nice. So now I want to get my blades on, right? We want to get our fan blade on. But first, okay, I'm sorry. We're going to take this brown paint by Apple Barrel. It really doesn't matter what brown you use. Any kind of brown. But it just gives it that nice worn look. Like it's been sitting out in the weather, whatever. It really wasn't even necessary, to be honest with you, but I just wanted it to look a little bit more worn. So there it is, and I'm like very impatient, right? So it's not dry. I'm like, okay, no big deal. I end up getting brown paint all over my hands, which I've said it before, I'll say it again. I cannot stand paint on my hands. Don't know why. I don't like anything on my hands. But anyways, I'm just white. There's no rhyme or reason to how I wrap this wire. I just get it on there because I want to make sure it sits in place. I don't know if you can see my little boy coming up from the side there, his little belly showing in the video. He's so silly. But there I am. I know I'm off camera, but I promise you I'll move it in just a second. I'm just trying to get the wire through. And in the angle I would have had to have been in, it would have been hard for me to get it on there without looking ridiculous. So there we are. I got it through there. All I did was popped it through, wrapped it around the little legs, and twisted it on. And you're not even going to see this when it's done, I promise. You're not going to see any of that mess. And I'm just wrapping it, cutting my ends off. And I'm just going to tuck them down. No big deal. I mean, it's not like kids are going to be playing with this or anything. It's just going to be sitting up on a shelf. There I am, gluing my half bead. That's where the little half bead comes in. Put the little half bead on there. There it is. It's all nice. It's all done. Everything's good. You can't see the wire. Everything's tucked, hidden. Okay, now this Arteza marker. This is silver by Arteza. Their markers are great. So I'm just going to kind of randomly do some markings on my blades. Some more than others. I think I really go heavy-handed on these. Kind of wish I didn't so much, but it's alright. I'm just doing some little random stuff here. It turns out really cute regardless. However you want to do it is fine. You don't even have to paint the windmill part. I just didn't like some of the color on some of them. Some of the windmills there were kind of like a greenish color. They had like a green tint or like a bluish tint. And then some of the silver tint was really, I don't know. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've seen them before. I believe they're out like every year. So there I am, just kind of, I don't even know why I went so heavy-handed, honestly. But it turned out really good in the end. So there I am, just getting the color on there. So I'm like, okay, I gotta do something with these because these are like funny looking. And I'm just kind of randomly getting it on. To me, it just turns out really cute. I liked it. My husband liked it. And there's that. And now we're going to get our florals out. So now we have this floral moss. And floral moss is not my favorite, to be honest with you. But it turned out good for this. It was actually all I had left on hand. So that's what we went with. And I'm just gluing it down. I told my husband when he complained about that crack in my foam there, it's not going to be a big deal. You're not going to see it. He's like, I know, but it just bothers me right now. So there we are. We're covering up what bothers him so bad. I told him, I said, it doesn't really matter. You're just not, it doesn't affect the project. I guess he doesn't understand how this stuff works because he's never used it and never done this kind of stuff. So, you know, if you don't use it, I guess it would just be maybe something, I suppose. Not really, but we'll just let him have it. And there we are. I'm just kind of filling it in, trying to get all that moss. But you see what I mean? When you see it from the front, you're not really going to see that inside. Because we're not just going to put moss in there. We're going to actually put some, I believe some lavender is what, yeah, lavender. And then those are boxwood from, I believe that's boxwood from Walmart. Both of those are from Walmart. And they're such a good price. I believe they were like 88 cents or something like that. So it turned out to be cheaper than Dollar Tree. Can't beat that. And Dollar Tree's pretty nice. They're actually really stepping up their game this year with the floral as far as the lavenders and stuff go. They're really doing a good job. But there I am, just cutting off some little picks and putting it in there. And again, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you don't mind, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. But anytime you like one of my videos, it helps YouTube notice me more. And there it is. Thank you for crafting with me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video.